I've said a lot of times, even when James was there from the past 2 seasons, I would have liked to see the ball in Tyrese Maxey's hands a lot more than it was. I understand James has that superstardom, maybe not on that level anymore, but he does have that cachet of you want the ball in his hands. He was a top player in assists. I think he led the league in assists last year, and he was always in that top assist rank for each season. But I felt like the flow wasn't there. I felt like the offense was pretty stagnant. I didn't think there was much variation in it. I think Harden's only two go-to moves were pick and roll with Embiid or ISO step back. I feel like with Tyrese Maxey, there's a lot more flow, a lot more pace. So I'm very excited to watch him be in a better role or being more at the front or more of a scoring role than not having to play second fiddle to James Harden. Once again, understandable, but I feel like there were times where you could have gotten more out of that Philly team if you went through Tyrese Maxey, who is a younger player, probably has more twitch to him, especially now, still has that offensive ability, probably a better threat at times than James Harden was. And if they do go that route, there's a potential that you could see that in the playoffs, which is a particular time where you saw James Harden struggle a lot of the time. So I think there's a lot of upside with going the route of Maxey and just giving him those keys and that opportunity. Even on another podcast, I heard them talk about how each year the situation wasn't really stable or consistent from him. He was always having to adjust. So I feel like if he's able to just lock in on a role, know what he's going to do, he'll be very capable of providing that second scoring that you need. And he's been pretty good with all the changes that he's had to go through and all the adjustments he had to deal with. So just him being that second scorer to Embiid, I think that can keep the Philadelphia 76ers a respectable and threatening team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, no, and I kind of like the dynamic between Embiid and Tyrese a little better than the James Harden Embiid pairing. It's a little redundant in terms of Embiid and Harden getting fouled a lot. You know, a lot of people would call it foul baiting, but they get to the free throw line a lot. They draw a lot of fouls, and it's sufficient. I'm not trying to knock on that style of play or whatever, but I think having Tyrese, who is going to be more getting up and down the floor a little more, he's faster with the ball. James was a little more take my time. Let's get to my step back or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Tyrese is going to be attacking more spots on the floor, and I think that will help with breaking down defenses a little more and giving Joel more opportunities to just get easier baskets. But also with Tyrese, I think he's just gonna create more opportunities for everybody on the floor. So it's gonna not only gonna be more fun to watch,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a little more effective, especially in playoff time and things like that.
I agree with you on that fun part, man. Like I've always felt like Philly was a team I should be excited to watch play, but I just didn't always enjoy watching them for that simple fact of what I was talking about with just the flow and the pace. I felt like it was just so stagnant. It was what was that game they played? They played Brooklyn before Kyrie got traded when Brooklyn came into
Mm,
town.
yeah,
And it was
I know
just
exactly what you're
so
talking about.
yeah, they didn't have any flow. It was just Embiid trying to get to the line and it was just too much stoppage. I didn't really
Mhm.
enjoy the brand of basketball that was, on display between
That's when
Harden and
Harden
Embiid all the
first got
time.
traded, right? I think that was
Was
two
that when he
seasons ago,
first got
right?
traded? That was two
I
seasons
think
ago.
so. Yeah, because that was the whole
Yeah.
like thing, like Kyrie, and that was when Ben Simmons wasn't playing, and Kyrie and
Yeah.
KD like had his back and was
Yeah. And
like
that's two
going
seasons ago.
at Philly. Yeah,
Yeah, and the fact that that sticks out to my mind just pretty much shows that that's how I view that team. It's pretty much been the same brand of basketball. And I don't know if the coaching dynamic was real good between Harden and James. I think there was a little bit of tension there and not
Mhm.
really figuring out what to do, but it just wasn't much flow to that offense. And I didn't personally enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to a different brand of basketball in Philly, hopefully.